Thanks for joining us this evening on TKO8 Local News. In an effort to reassure the Boone County Airport Board of Directors, new Seaport Airlines President Tim Cyber says that the airline promises to get their act together following their recent Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing. Cyber made the presentation to the board yesterday afternoon at the Boone County Airport. He noted that the roots of the company are strong and he feels the company can come back from the bankruptcy filing. He explained that the company was worth $27 million going into 2015 but lost $4 million over the year. Concerns voiced by board members and airport manager Judy McCutcheon included the low fuel buying volume of Seaport from the airport as well as drastic decline in flights coming and going. McCutcheon noted that last month only 90 passengers booked flights from the airport, which is the lowest number in the past 25 years at the airport. Cyber says that the company is focused on improving those numbers. Well, the National Park Service is proposing to replace two obsolete wastewater treatment plants with state-of-the-art plants at the existing sites at the Buffalo Point Visitor Area and Buffalo National River. Officials say that two of the plants that serve the Buffalo Point Visitor Area were constructed back in 1972 and approaching the end of their useful life cycle. The proposed action would replace the current plants at their respective sites and would be brought to industry standards with no additional wastewater collection piping needed. This project is currently in the scoping phase, and the public is invited to submit written comments online or at the park's headquarters in Harrison. The Greater Searcy County Chamber of Commerce has honored with the Bootstrap Award on Tuesday as a part of the Henry Awards presented by the Arkansas Department of Parks and Tourism. The Bootstrap Award is presented to an individual, organization, or a community that has achieved significant success on a shoestring budget. Adam Davis of Mammoth Spring was named the winner of the Outstanding Volunteer Service Award, which is presented to an individual or organization that has made a substantial contribution to Arkansas's tourism industry through outstanding volunteer spirit. Davis volunteers hundreds of hours helping communities in the Ozark Gateway region. Davis is currently the president of the Ozark Gateway Tourism Association and was recently named that region's Tourism Person of the Year. He was also honored by the Grand Prairie Historical Society for his voluntary work. A leaky roof dominated the discussion at a recent meeting of the North Arkansas College Board of Trustees. The meeting was held at the North Campus, where a leaking roof forced cancellation of some classes last month. Before the meeting, trustees and other college officials took a tour of the facility to see firsthand the problem. Vice President of Finance and Administration Don Sugg says the repair of the roof could run $300,000 or more. He went on to say that once repairs are started, there could be other problems such as the decking, the ceiling, or insulation that could drive the price up. Also discussed was the possibility of selling the location and consolidating all the current programs to the South Campus. A Harrison High School student will be going to the Olympics of Technology. Senior Tyler Nelson will be representing the school at the Tech Support Olympiad in Hot Springs on Thursday. The event will be a part of the National Environmental and Spreadle Technology Conference being held at the Hot Springs Convention Center. Nelson qualified for the Olympiad by finishing sixth in the nation during a preliminary round of competition. The competition will involve numerous tech riddles and challenges, and many of which are math-based. Nelson says that after graduation, he plans to attend the University of Central Arkansas, where he will major in physics and astronomy with the hopes of becoming an astronomist. Stay with us. Be back in a moment. We'll take a look at some headline news from around the region as TKO8 News continues.
Here's another satisfied client from Dental Creations of Harrison.
My husband and I both needed to have dentures. I had looked online and we saw a picture of Wanda, just something about her. I thought this is the place we're going to do. And I called in and spoke with Dave, and he was just tremendous. He answered every single question the first call and told us what our copay would be. It was just an awesome experience.
Dental Creations on the square in Harrison, next to the Big Red Boot.
Sam Alexander Pharmacy has expanded and is now offering many additional products and services. Their new pharmaceutical compounding area allows them to create products to fit the unique needs of a customer. They also have added Spinco orthotic shoes and sandals, Dr. Comfort diabetic shoes, baby gifts by Aiden and Anais, and toys by Melissa and Doug. Stop in today and let them help you with any of your specialty pharmaceutical needs. Sam Alexander Pharmacy, your local Health Mart pharmacy in Harrison.
Spring has already started at Sisters Flower and Gift Shop. The ladies at Sisters have created some beautiful spring floral arrangements, and new home accent items are arriving daily. You'll also find a great selection of centerpieces, unique birdhouses, wall decor, and many other great gift items. Come by and check out the many Razorback items on display. From handcrafted metalware, dinnerware, serving pieces, tabletop items, and cooking utensils, Sisters has just the right item for any occasion. Catch the spring fever at Sisters Flower and Gift Shop. We are so much more than flowers.
A Washington County Sheriff's deputy was shot after responding to a call of a suicidal person. Sheriff's Office spokesperson Kelly Cantrell says the deputy was alert and was taken to Washington County Regional Medical Center. Cantrell says several deputies responded to an emergency call for a suicidal person Tuesday afternoon near an intersection just outside of the Fayetteville city limits. Cantrell says a suspect was arrested shortly after the incident, but the suspect's name was not being released as of news time. The deputy's name and condition is also being withheld at this time. The Pennington County, South Dakota Sheriff's Office has identified the woman who was found in a freezer in South Dakota. Her name is being Adele Sabaski from Fayetteville, Arkansas. According to the Sheriff's Office, an autopsy shows that Sabaski died of natural causes, but a final cause of death will be determined after toxicology results are examined. Officials believe that Adele Sabaski lived in Arkansas with her son Stuart, and Stuart relocated to Rapid City, South Dakota in 2013 and has since passed away. The investigation is still ongoing. 8 people were arrested by Fayetteville police in connection to a string of fraudulent check cases in northwest Arkansas. Police say the suspects, all from the state of Georgia, would recruit homeless people to cash fraudulent checks at area businesses. Starting in the summer of 2015 and lasting until this past Friday, hundreds of forged checks that total more than $100,000 were cashed at banking locations in northwest Arkansas. The suspects would use the homeless people's personal information to print fake checks and had the homeless people cash the checks before being paid a percentage of each check that was cashed. All the suspects were charged with continuing criminal gang or enterprise activity along with forgery charges and are each held on a $50,000 bond. A Dermott woman has been sentenced to more than 5 years in prison for her role in stealing U.S. Department of Agriculture program funds intended to feed children in low-income areas. Federal prosecutors say that 51-year-old Katie Jordan was sentenced to 63 months and ordered to pay joint restitution of more than $3.6 million. Jordan had pled guilty to conspiring to commit wire fraud in August. She was indicted as a part of a scheme to fraudulently obtain USDA program funds. She ran a feeding program, and authorities say she over-reported the meals she provided. An Arkansas Department of Human Services employee approved the fraudulent claims. Several others, including that employee, have been indicted or pled guilty in the scheme involving more than $10 million in USDA funds. An Arkansas Department of Human Services attorney has been tapped to head the state's child welfare system. The department on Tuesday announced that Micaiah Martin has been chosen to serve as the interim director of the Division of Child and Family Services, while the agency searches for a permanent director. Martin began April 1st and replaces Cecile Blucker, who announced earlier this year that she planned to step down as director at the end of March. Martin joined the department in 2008. Blucker's exit came several months after an outside review said Arkansas's child welfare system is burdened by high caseload and lack of foster homes. Governor Asa Hutchinson tapped $1 million from the state's rainy day fund to hire more workers. Before we take a look at the weather forecast for the rest of the work week, here's the way the stock market ended today.
Saving you money every day is what Edwards does best, and this week is no exception. Gordon's fish sticks or portions only $2.99. Selected varieties, Red Baron pizzas $3 for $9. 93% lean ground beef only $2.99 per pound. Best Choice chicken wings only $6.49 in the 10-pound bag, and fresh green cabbage only 39 cents per pound.
Edwards Grocery Station money.
Temperatures varied throughout the day. Started off cool this morning, and when the cloud cover came in, it cooled down a little, then the sun came out. But it wound up being a high temperature about mid-afternoon of 63 degrees under partly cloudy skies. A little wind out of the north-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Slightly warmer tomorrow, but we do have a system that's going to come through that's going to cool us down for the weekend, and then starting next week, once again, we'll move into almost summer-like temperatures. Here's the way it looks right now. Tomorrow, lots of sunshine out there, a little warmer, as I mentioned. Still a 5 to 10 mile an hour wind out of the north-northwest, 69 degrees under partly cloudy skies. On Friday, the frontal boundary gets close enough to the viewing area. They're calling for 60% chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the afternoon on Friday. High of 61 degrees. Moves off quickly, however, and as it moves out of the area, it drops our temperatures on Saturday with partly cloudy skies, a high of only 55 degrees. Likewise on Sunday, about 57 under sunny skies. But we kick off the work week on Monday, 69 degrees with lots of sunshine, and the warming trend will continue throughout next week. Stay with us. Be back in a moment. We'll take a look at sports from around the region as TKO8 News continues.
Whether you ride mud, rocks, dunes, or trails, Polaris has a razor to match your passion. Unequaled power, unrivaled suspension, unmatched agility, and unbeatable comfort. Everything you need to chase memories and catch them. Find your razor at Polaris.com.
Come see us at 824 North Main in Harrison.
Here's another satisfied client from Dental Creations of Harrison.
My husband and I both needed to have dentures. I had looked online and we saw a picture of Wanda, just something about her. I thought this is the place we're going to do. And I called in and spoke with Dave, and he was just tremendous. Answered every single question the first call and told us what our copay would be. It was just an awesome experience.
Dental Creations on the square in Harrison, next to the Big Red Boot.
Monday's home opener for the Harrison Lady Goblins didn't go as the team wanted. Pea Ridge put the Lady Goblins in a big hole early in its way to a 17-4 win. Harrison fell behind in the top of the first inning as Pea Ridge scored 6 runs in that time frame. Pea Ridge added another 5 runs in the second inning. The Lady Goblins finally got on the board in the bottom of the second as Sam Fancher reached base before Jude Edwards drove a double in for the Lady Goblins. Blanchard scored on the play, making it 11-1. Pea Ridge increased its lead again in the third inning with a pair of runs, and the tide never really turned for the Lady Goblins. as Harrison allowed 17 runs on 23 hits with 5 strikeouts and 5 walks. Harrison will be on the road at Huntsville on Friday in action set to start at 5 p.m. And the Harrison Golden Goblins boys team allowed just 1 hit on Monday, but it was just enough to fall short in a victory for the ball club in a ball game that, again, against the Shiloh Christian Saints, Harrison lost 2-1. Harrison scored early, but their lead didn't last long as the Saints put 2 runs on the board in the bottom of the 3rd inning. A pair of errors by the Goblins to go along with 2 walks and a hit batter helped Shiloh Christian take the 2-1 lead. Harrison will now go on the road in 5A West Conference play against Maumelle at the Community First Sports Complex on Thursday afternoon. The Bruno Payette Patriots made a statement in their opening game. The Patriots throttled the Jasper Pirates with an 18-2 victory on Monday. Bruno Payette got the bats going early with 8 runs in the bottom of the 1st inning. Nick Grice drew a walk and then stole second base before Cody White drove him in with a double play. White would score on the ground out by Robbie Holtby for the 2nd run of the inning. Travis Thurman and Derek Bryson each drew a walk. Brody Riddell then singled home Thurman. Josephus DeLay Rosa was hit by a pitch to load the bases for Austin Tabor. Tabor then doubled to score Bryson and Riddell. Even still was the next batter and delivered a double of his own to score De La Rosa and Tabor as well. Then White singled in the 2nd at bat of the inning to score 1. Jasper finally got on the board with 2 runs in the top of the 2nd inning, but then came to a screeching halt for the remainder of the game. In the 3rd inning, Grice and White each scored as Bruno Payette won the game by the mercy rule. Well, North Arkansas College Pioneers baseball team made it 4 in a row Monday against Antoine Ramsey. The Pioneers defeated their guests 7-6, but in the nightcap game against Lakes Region, the squad lost 3-2. In the Aurora Ramsey game, the Pioneers of North Arkansas College scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning to break up a tie and post the victory. In the matchup against Lake Region, all the action was in the 3rd period as the visitors scored 3 runs in the top of the 3rd before North Ark got their 2 runs in the frame and scoring came to a standstill. Missouri sophomore Nanan Wright and Treming Isabel has decided to transfer, becoming the 4th and 5th players with eligibility remaining to leave since last fall. Wright started 25 games, averaged 9 points and 5 rebounds. Isabel made 2 starts, averaging 6 points a game. Wes Clark, Maderin Payne, and D'Angelo Allen previously elected to change schools. Missouri coach Kim Anderson will be back for a 3rd season, despite going just 19 wins with 44 losses in her first 2 seasons. Well, that wraps up our broadcast here for this evening. Thanks for joining us. Join us Monday through Friday at 6:30 and again at 10 p.m. as we continue to bring you local news, weather, sports, and local announcements from around the area on Harrison's broadcast station, TKO Channel 8. Now stay tuned for more local events around our viewing area.
Spring has already started at Sisters Flower and Gift Shop. The ladies at Sisters have created some beautiful spring floral arrangements, and new home accent items are arriving daily. You'll also find a great selection of centerpieces, unique birdhouses, wall decor, and many other great gift items. Come by and check out the many Razorback items on display. From handcrafted metalware, dinnerware, serving pieces, tabletop items, and cooking utensils, Sisters has just the right item for any occasion. Catch the spring fever at Sisters Flower and Gift Shop. We are so much more than flowers.
Hi, I need a safe car.
The Camry's really safe. 10 airbags, even has a backup camera.
Wow, that could come in handy.
Bye. Dad!
Gotta keep my little girl safe.
Don't worry, he'll only be like this for another 10 or 15 years.
At least.
During Toyota's One for Everyone sales event, get $1,500 customer cash. Or qualified buyers get 0% APR financing for 60 months, plus a $500 subvention bonus on a new 2016 Camry.
Here you go.
Toyota, let's go places.
Local television worth watching. KTKO Channel 8, Harrison.